The youth group Never Again Colorado will add their voices to the gun violence debate later today. They plan to host a debate for statewide candidates in Colorado on gun violence in schools and communities. The state's treasurer and Republican candidate for governor, Walker Stapleton, joins us now to discuss. Nice to see you, sir. Walker, as I understand it, you are not going to be at the debate tonight. Explain it for us.
I'm actually down in Colorado Springs and participating in a number of events down here, and will not be in the Denver area tonight for that particular event, Leland.
Well, conceivably, if you wanted to be there for the debate and thought it was more important than whatever was happening in Colorado Springs, we all make choices about why we go to things. Would it seem as though it's a political choice? Can you explain it for us? No,
I don't think it's a political choice. As a dad to 3 kids, 10, 6, and 4, I think that the sentiment that these students are expressing in the Never Again movement is incredibly important, and I think their voices need to be heard. And as a father of 3 kids who are all school-aged, it's an unthinkable tragedy to send my kids to school and have violence ensue. So I support their sentiment, and I think that it's really important that we do whatever we can to prevent these tragedies from ever happening again.
Okay, well, noteworthy perhaps not support enough to show up tonight to their event, but we'll leave it there with your answer. Moving on, though, you say you support things to keep this from happening again, specific to Colorado, where they're all too familiar with mass shootings, whether it be Columbine or Aurora or others. What are your suggestions and plans as governor?
Well, I think we can take steps and measures to practically secure our schools while also respecting people's Second Amendment rights. I join the lieutenant governor who was just on in calling for a single point of entry into schools. I think there should be a armed public safety official in all of our schools. I think local school districts, as 2 school districts down here in Colorado Springs have made the choice to arm teachers. That should be a decision that local school boards should actually be able to make at the local level if they feel like it will increase school safety. I'm for metal detectors in all of our schools. I'm for practical measures that will secure our kids, because there's nothing that's more important in my mind.
Would you go as far as Governor Scott did in Florida with his state legislature?
I don't know how I don't really know about what measures Governor Scott took in Florida, but I would go as far as to have the state of Colorado make sure that we had a single point of entry, metal detectors, public safety officials who are armed at every school.
Well, here, hold on. I'll help you. I'll help you with what Governor Scott did. 3-day waiting period for most purchases of long guns, raising the minimum age to buy those weapons to 21, banning the possession of bump stocks, which can make semi-automatic weapons fire like automatic weapons. You good with those or not?
I think bump stocks is a federal issue with the ATF that actually was passed during the Obama years, so that's not really a state issue.
So 3-day waiting period or raise the age to 21?
No. I don't think that those are practical steps. I am for practical steps that will reduce gun violence.
And you don't think those are okay?
Those may work in Florida. I don't think those work well in Colorado.
I'll bring up the issue that the lieutenant governor just brought up about urging parents to lock up their weapons. So something or a child like the situation in Texas could not take their parents' weapons and go commit this crime. We saw that happen in Connecticut as well with Adam Lanza. Brings up an important point. Should parents who don't lock up their weapons, who allow their children free access to these weapons and then go commit crimes, is there a reason to look at holding them in some way responsible for not being prudent enough with their firearms?
I don't know. I mean, that's a case-by-case basis. I think a bigger question, Leland, is what do we do with mental health? And mental health has been stigmatized. It shouldn't be. It's a condition just like cancer. People don't want to talk about it. There's been a failure to report from health professionals, people who are mentally ill, to authorities. We're about to pass a bill in Colorado, Senate Bill 270, which the governor's about to sign, that helps coordinate mentally ill individuals with law enforcement. And I think it's a better coordination between people who are mentally ill and law enforcement in order to stop people who are mentally ill from committing these atrocities.
Well, still don't know if these measures that you just talked about would have stopped the Santa Fe shooter. Maybe nothing would have. Mr. Stapleton, we appreciate you joining us, sir. We know it's a tough race
for having me on,
in the
Leland.
primary for governor, and we'll have you back in the coming months.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Good to see you.